And welcome to part 2 of the mini-series of farming for Eternium. Today we're looking at Troll 100 farming analysis. We looked at Troll 90 yesterday. So I've done exactly the same as Troll 90. I've run Troll 100 150 times, recording all the drops, salvage every 10 and record all the salvage results. So exactly the same format as we saw yesterday. What I'm going to do first is drop in a clip from a farming run on the Kindle for Troll 100. So it's a mobile run again, which is pretty much how I've done all of these farming runs. So I'll drop that in. I've recorded some separate commentary to go with it, so it isn't just completely quiet today like yesterday's one. If you don't like that, just let me know in the comments down below and I won't do that in future. But we'll meet back once that clip's finished. Okay, so we're on the Kindle. Load up Troll 100. This loading screen footage is sped up about 4 times. It's not as quick as that in real life on a Kindle. So into the Troll, and it's normal cast Frost Nova, then immolate to proc Shatter. I'm moving before I cast my immolate in order to try and pull in as many new mobs as possible each time Shatter's procced. So again we get a nice big pull there. Obviously on mobile it causes the performance to dip, which I think we're about to see. I end up on top of a group of elites, not doing a lot, so death from above to clear them out. Then it's one last shatter to pull in these last mobs that needed for spawning Kara. We group this lot up, death from above to spawn Kara. There she is. A bit unlucky in this run in that none of the talismans proc until she's almost dead. I'm just waiting for her sword attacks and then let death from above go. So I'd sort of pre-cast it by drawing the symbol and then just waited for the swords before letting go of the screen to let the death from above go. And welcome back. So might as well jump in. I've got exactly the same slides set up as I had yesterday, obviously for Troll 100 this time, so let's go take a look at those. So starting off with the drops that were received, so the 450 items that came out from running those trials. As we can see, there's still more epics coming out than legendaries, although it is a lot closer than it was for Troll 90. And the other thing to note was seeing, obviously it's not a lot of them given that there's 450 items that have dropped, but there's certainly more items appearing down in these bottom rows. So 3 level 77 items came out, obviously one of them was epic and 2 legendary sets. So the higher you run, yes, it looks like the more higher level items will drop. Again, if you want to look at these figures further, feel free to pause the video. There's not too much to say on this slide, so we'll move on to the next one. We can see that the epics to legendary ratio is getting a lot closer now. At Troll 100, 54% were epics, almost 46% legendary. Breaking those down into the individual types, epics were nearly a quarter of the drops, 24.7%, epic set items coming out 29.5%, legendary 19.1%. I was surprised how low that was. Saw far more legendary set items than normal legendaries, so 26.7 at legendary set, and that's reflected as well in our overall regular drops. Just normal epics, normal legendaries were 43.8% of the drops, and set and unique items were 56.2%. So we're seeing those starting to move heavily into the set and unique column, which is nice. That's where we get our marker titans from. And as well, seeing that we're now getting more legendaries, this should eventually see us getting more greater essences, so we'll see that later on. And looking at the level from our drops, level 70, just over half of them are at level 70. It does drop away quite quickly, so 71, which is about half the number of level 70s that we got. 72s, 73s, we're dropping all the time. Interestingly, same number of 76s as 77s. We're seeing an increase in 75s as well. As far as average item levels go, epics 70.9, epic set 70.8, legendary and legendary set both came out at 71. But overall, them all taken into consideration, we're sitting at a average item level of 70.92, so that is higher than we saw yesterday with the Troll 90 runs. As far as essences from salvaging, so this is the same process across the board. Run Troll 10 times, record all the drops and the drop types and the drop levels, salvage them all and record all the results from those. So again, we've got them broken down by the various essence type, lesser, just normal essence and greater essence. Again, I'll just focus on the final right hand column with the greater essence equivalents of fire from 150 runs, 324 greater essence of fire, averaging 21.6 for 10 trials. Water 572 at 38.1. Air 346 at 23.1. Shadow 334 at 22.3, and Earth 348 at 23.2. So once again, water way out in front. Fire this time lagging a little bit behind the others. They're relatively close. Surprised to see that air is sort of performing that well at this level. It's normally air and shadow are the worst two, but it seems to be shadow and fire. But that could change a lot over the total course of running these trolls. I've got at least another 300 runs of each of these trolls to do, so we're a long way from finished and a long way from drawing any conclusions at this stage. So just move on to the other salvage items. So cured leather 302, it's an average of 20.1 per 10 trolls. Enchanted leather, this is a lot better than we saw yesterday at troll 90. I think I've got 10 for the entire 150 runs. It's still not great, but it's 2.5 per 10 trolls is what I'm seeing. Silk 2012 in total, 134.1 per 10 trolls. Marker Titans 380 at 25.3 on average. So that does show, or that is reflecting the better volume of set and unique items that are coming out from troll drops now. Iron bars 418 at 27.9. That's a bit lower than I saw at 90, but again we're early days, so that might rise. These could be completely strange numbers. Mithril 54 at 3.6 per batch, that's exactly the same as I saw at Troll 90. And Nightcloth 284 at 18.9 per batch. So that concludes the interim video for Troll 100. As I say, there's at least 300 more runs to do with that one. With war supplies running this week, I shall no doubt be making use of some experience boosters and running some of these trolls a lot over that time. So it shouldn't take long to do another 300 of all the trolls that I've got in mind at the moment. So next up will be Troll 110. I've got a few video clips to put in that one because I tried 2 different builds for farming on that, so it'll be a little bit longer than this video purely because there's an extra run to record for it. Any questions, comments, concerns, recommendations, put them down in the comments below, and thank you very much for watching.